The pick is in.
Belongs to the Philadelphia Flyers.
2024 NHL Draft. I'm Rachel Donner. We're joined by Ross Levitan to break down the Senators selecting Carter Yakemchuk with the 7th overall pick presented by Indeed. There's no I in team, but there is one in Indeed, and that's the hiring platform you need to build yours. To upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/locked-on. So do you think the Sens always wanted Yakemchuk, and where do you see him fitting in with the team?
Yeah, hey Rachel. For me, Yakemchuk is a strong right shot defenseman, very offensively minded, led the WHL in goal scoring with 30 last year. He dangles. There's a video on Elite Prospects where he's literally dangling everyone is the title of it. So for him, I think this was the Senators' best player available. Do I agree? We had him at 12 on our Locked On Sens ranking, so he's right in that range. I would have preferred a Zane Parak, a Steve William. However, those two players might have had a bit more of a bust rate, whereas a 6'3" defenseman should be able to, at the very least, become an NHLer. So you're losing that bust potential, and then you look at the upside with the physicality and the offensive ability. What he's going to need to work on is his skating. And Ottawa has a great skating coach in Shelly Kettles. She's been the main driver. Ask Mark Stone, Stanley Cup champion captain. Shelly Kettles helped him develop his skating to the point that it was NHL level. So you have all the tools here of a great top four defenseman, offensively minded, who murders guys defensively with his physicality. It's going to be about him picking up a step to be able to be a top four defenseman, but the potential is there, and it was also a position of need at the right shot defensive position.
So do you see him being part of like an improving penalty kill for the Sens?
No, interestingly enough, considering his size, you would think that he's like that defensive, strong-minded, player who's going to battle defensively. But he's actually more of an offenseman, funny enough, despite being 6'3", 205 pounds. Carter Yakemchuk, to me, could be the perfect partner for Jake Sanderson down the road. A guy who's able to carry the puck, make plays, and distribute it offensively. So for me, I'm looking more of an Evan Bouchard type. That big shot from the blue line, that guy who can score a bunch of goals at the NHL level. The battle for him is going to be off the rush defensively, and that's where I think he's going to need to pick up his skating. But I do like the pick. I think Sens fans as a whole, we like the pick. We don't love it. But at the same time, it's the first pick for Steve Saios, and who are we to judge based on no track record? Let's see how it plays out, but I think that they filled a position of need with a high upside pick with Carter Yakemchuk.
And with the Sens in the Ullmark deal, trading away their second first-round pick, do you think this satisfies the needs for the Sens in the first round?
Yes, I'm so glad you brought that up, because one thing we said is the Sens cannot leave the first round without a right shot defenseman. Now, as we predicted that on Locked On Senators, we thought that they would have two opportunities. Now they only have one. Linus Ullmark's an amazing pickup for other reasons. But to me, they needed to fill this need. I thought that there would be some good players available at 39. And hey, maybe they go back to that well, because there is a very big shortage at right shot defense on this depth chart. However, they got their guy. He's got the numbers to back it up. To me, it's about rounding out his game to be a full-time NHLer. But how can you not love it? You watch one highlight video of this guy, and he is just all offense all the time. So can we rein him in? I'd rather rein him in than try to push a guy forward.
Absolutely. All right. For more on the Ottawa Senators, subscribe to Locked On Senators on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.
Carter Yakemchuk can do things with the puck that no other defenseman in the 2024 NHL Draft would even think of. But can he translate his game to the NHL? I'm Hadi Kalakash from Locked On NHL Prospects, ready to give you the breakdown. Yakemchuk's a 6'3", 205-pound right-shot defenseman who played for the Calgary Hitmen in the WHL. He scored 30 goals, which is the most of any defenseman in the WHL, and added 71 points in 66 games for the Hitmen. He has better hands and more on-puck confidence than almost any forward in this class, let alone defenseman. He's more than comfortable taking on teams 4-on-1, 5-on-1. He doesn't care. He's got a bomb of a shot to complement it as well. He's very, very violent, and he's a decent forward skater. So there's a lot to work with here, but he'll need to fix his defensive play. He'll need to add some more composure to his game and kind of rein in the aggression a bit. He's going to need a patient approach moving forward, but at the end of the day, we might be talking about the second coming of Brent Burns here. For more on Yakemchuk and all things NHL prospects, follow and subscribe to Locked On NHL Prospects on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.
For continuing coverage of the 2024 NHL Draft, subscribe to Locked On NHL on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.